Hello, world. This is America's Supermom, and this is a special edition that I call the Corona Chronicles. During this time, we are suffering from a pandemic that is affecting everyone across the world. We are joined with the rules and regulations of being shelter in place, which means we are limited with the ability to go about our daily business, confined to our homes based on a coronavirus that has been sweeping the entire world. For some people, the effects could be mild. For others, it can be fatal. So we are coming together as a community, as a family during this time of difficulty to share what it is like in our part of the world, how we are affected, and the things that we have in common, what kind of problems that are taking place in our industries and in our relationships and finances, and coming together so that we can plan for a better tomorrow. As this epidemic or pandemic crosses the world, we are waiting for relief. We're waiting for the virus to die off and for us to go back to some state of normalcy, whatever that may be, after things kind of settle down. So, what is that going to look like once the dust settles? How are things going to be different? So, as we go through this process, we're coming together as a world to create ideas, strategies, connect in ways that we have never connected before. So that is the purpose of the special podcast that I call the Corona Chronicles, so that we can get some insight and have empathy and compassion on one another, create new innovative ideas that can not only improve our life, but our fellow brothers and sisters across the world. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started because not sure what this connection is going to be like, okay?
Yeah, I hope it's just gonna be true or true without any mix up again. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so we hope so.
Okay,
So,
so let's get started. What we're going to do is talk about leadership. I was able to go over your bio, and you are a leadership coach. And so,
uh,
right now, with things in the world, that would probably be a good place to start in terms of, making some sense out of, this whole pandemic, as the dust settles, how we can help during this critical time. So, tell us a little bit about you and how you got into leadership.
okay, thank you, Lashele Atkins. I mean, it's a very, very privilege, good privilege to join you here on this platform.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not taking it for granted. Yeah, like I said, my name is Kenny Dilichuku Charles Emmanuel. Simply call me St. Charles because I do radio, I do media, and I'm a radio host.
Mm-hmm.
But you talked about leadership. I'm a leadership development coach. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
leadership. How I got into leadership is just from my childhood. I realized that there got to be more. There got to be more about how things are being done. There got to be more about how, life, is being lived. And so it
Mm-hmm.
got me thinking. It got me thinking. Then I started thinking deep. I do more imagination than I do reading, and
Mm.
so yeah, I do more. I imagine things than I do reading. I can study. Um, Probably I lay hands on 250 pages of a book. I may just spend like probably 1 hour to read, and then I'll spend like three
Mm.
hours to. And
Wow.
so yeah, so in the process of my imagination,
Mhm.
I realized it got to be more about how we do things, and it all began from where I grew up from, and then I started leadership from my grade three, what we refer to as primary three,
Mm.
when I was made a class monitor for my primary four. And from there, I started leading, and I started realizing that leadership is not just the position. Leadership is not just hamstring the name, or being the taking being at the positional level. No, leadership is actually taking the lead,
Mm.
setting the pace. Yeah,
Mhm. Mm.
leadership is going all out to make sure that your heart desire is met. Leadership is coming to the point whereby you fulfill the purpose for which you have been created
Mhm.
for. And so
Mhm.
when you are passionate about your purpose, people tend to see you and come to follow you. So
Mm.
that's where leadership comes into play. And when people talk about influence per se, it's not just leadership. Leadership is influence, but influence through inspiration. You must be able to inspire people to follow you. And the only
Mm.
way to yeah, you must be able to inspire people to follow you. And one of the ways, or the only way to inspire people to follow you, is by being, deadly committed to your purpose in life. When you are committed to fulfilling your purpose in life, people get to see you and they get to, man, I think I like what this guy is doing. Let me join him.
Right. Right.
That is when you begin to see that you're now leading a whole set of people from two, three, four, five, six, seven. From there, you begin to they are answerable to you because they are inspired by the way you are committed to fulfilling your purpose in life. So
That is
basically, leadership is influence through inspiration.
that is awesome. Now, so diving into that, because
Yeah,
so many different key points you brought up, but let's take
yeah,
the stance of, you dive into self actualization, for people to kind of know what it is, what their purpose is. So
exactly.
how do you help somebody when you have that influence and help them to kind of inner reflect rather than just mimic what you're doing? Because you have a lot of people that are coaches or people
Yeah,
that do have influence, but how do you get the people to make that flip from the inner search rather than just copying what they're seeing somebody else is doing? Does that make sense, that
yeah.
question? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I think I like that because most of the times we mistaken. I mean, a whole lot of people that call themselves leaders, they want people to imitate them, to actually do
Mm-hmm.
exactly the way they do things. No, that's not leadership. It's like authoritative leadership, which is not leadership. When you want
Mm-hmm.
people to do exactly, to talk the way you talk, to act the way you act, I mean, to do things the way you do, that's not, you're not allowing them to be themselves.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
That's
So you have
mhm,
to come to the point where you begin to help people discover themselves.
mhm, mhm,
Yes, by helping them find fulfillment in that little thing that they know and they have passion. They are passionate about doing anytime, any day. So you have them. So leadership is an encompassing is just so it's so wide that most people get it mixed up. So
mm,
how do you get realizing their purpose in life?
mhm,
One, you have to first of all get them to understanding
Mm-hmm.
themselves. Yes, lead them into themselves. I mean, a whole lot of attention, many things calling for attention outside ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But when we come to the point where we begin to identify ourselves, in my leadership coaching sections, the first thing I do is I make sure I take you through, I help you build your imagination. I teach imagination. I help you build your imagination where you can imagine unimaginables in the physical realm. You can be able to, build your life the way you want to build it. And if you're able to capture those pictures in your
Mm-hmm.
imagination, then we can now take you through the next step where you can now be able to put those images down in your reality. And that's why we take I take my mentees, I take them through ICT, intentional change theory, where you are able to realize your real self now, and then your ideal self, and then you get
Mm-hmm.
to achieve your ideal self. So, number one thing I do with my mentees or anyone I want to coach is helping you to realize yourself. Then the questions that I tend to ask them, I used to ask them, include: Who are you? Don't tell
Right.
me your name. Don't tell me where you come from. Don't tell me your age. Don't tell me your gender. Tell me who you are. I'm not requesting you to tell me your name. So if you're able to dissect yourself and tell me who you truly are without your name, without school, without degree, without money,
Wow.
I mean your true you, then you'll be able to know who you truly are. And then from there, I can ask you. Then I ask them what their core values
Mm.
are. If I am able to get these 4 or 5 questions in place and they are able to answer them clearly, they are very very close to identifying their
That
purpose
is
in
so.
life. So it's a pathway for them to finding their
Yeah.
purpose in life.
Now, so, you mentioned that we have distractions, when it comes to studying ourselves. So you have somebody right now, a lot of
Yeah,
these
yeah.
distractions are eliminated. So if somebody is in a place where they want to take that journey to find themselves, what do you recommend they start doing,
Okay.
for themselves?
Can you come again,
Yeah,
please?
so if somebody is at a place to where they want to find themselves and kind of study themselves, and they're in a place where these
Okay.
distractions have been eliminated, what would you recommend them start
Okay.
if they're trying to do this on their own? They just are at a place where they don't have anybody that they can
O-
actually talk to, but they want to kind of go on this journey. What would you say they should start doing?
Okay. If you find yourself in a place where, I mean, you find it so difficult, I mean, you don't have access to someone that can help you or that can
Mm-hmm.
coach you through the process of identifying yourself. The first thing I will tell you is how how badly do you want to discover
Mm.
yourself? Do you want it like it's like the way you want sleep? Do you want to discover yourself the way you want to eat whenever you are hungry?
Mm.
Until you badly, until you want to discover yourself so badly the way you want to sleep or the way you want to eat anytime you are hungry, then until then you are not
Mm.
yet ready. So if you're really ready, that means you have to practice or engage yourself through the act of silence, shutting down and shutting
Mm.
off from every outside you.
Mm-hmm.
And then out of silence is not just keeping quiet, not talking. No, out of silence is more than keeping quiet or shutting up from talking or from allowing people to talk to you. Out of silence goes beyond to shutting down different voices that speaks inside of you. So it's a whole lot of process that you must be ready to engage yourself in
Mm.
by telling yourself the truth.
That's
So the first thing I will recommend anybody to do is to first of all find what he or she wants in life.
mm-hmm.
What do you want in life? Number one, what is it that is true? What is true? Have you found what is true for you?
Mm-hmm.
Number two. Number three, are you ready to start doing what you need to do to achieve what you want in life in the light of what is true to you? These three processes are not just
Right.
simple as it is. What you want, what is true, and what you need to do to achieve what you want in the light of what is true
Mm.
to you. If you are able to find these three questions and answer them, then you are on your way to achieving and actualizing yourself. I mean, on that self
That is so awesome.
actualization
Now, so
process.
when you say, I love this last thing, ready to start doing what you need to do to achieve what is true to you. So, shed some more light on that,
Yeah.
because for some people, you know, how do they find out what's true to them? Because, you've got society that says this, or your community says this, so how do they go
Mm.
about figuring out, what's true to them?
Okay. Uh, Great, 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 awesome. Culturescape, what Vishyani Lekiani, the founder of Mind Valley, called in his book Code of Extraordinary, he called it culturescape. We've been what I
Mm-hmm.
personally call conventional. We've been living in our culture, in our tradition. They told us
Mm-hmm.
what we cannot do. They told us where we cannot go. They told us what we cannot, think of, what we cannot
Mm-hmm.
build, what we cannot invent. Folks like you don't do this until you tell yourself the truth that you are ready to escape and defile the culture in your environment. You may still remain an average person. So you have to fight. War
Mm-hmm.
is a battle, just like the way leadership is a
Mm-hmm.
war of ideologies, war of the way we used to do it in our family, the way we used to do it in our community, the way we used to do it in our home country, until you come to the point where you begin to tell yourself the truth that, man, I need to
Mm-hmm.
defile the culture. You're not defying the culture because you are going against. No, since you
Mm-hmm.
found out what is true for you,
Yeah.
go all out
That
to
is
finding
really
to
profound.
achieve.
That is so good. Now, so the imagination,
Yeah.
this is key, because there is no imagination. We have, if you want to look something up, it's on Google. If you want to figure something out, you
Mm,
go to YouTube. So,
mm,
how do we incorporate,
yeah.
a little bit of imagination in this stoic, robotic world that we're in? You know what I'm saying? So, what is something that we
Mm,
start to practice
yeah, I
to
understand.
begin to exercise that imagination?
Good. We are actually in the era, just like you said, we are in the era of sophisticated
Mm-hmm.
technologies. I mean, a whole lot of things are calling for our attention. Most people they don't, they don't care any longer to use their brain, to even
Mm-hmm.
use their mind. So they all depend on YouTube. They all depend on Google. They all depend on the
Mm-hmm.
dictionaries. So it's all about how bad you want to be
Mm-hmm.
different from ordinary. So the first thing I will tell anyone who wants to, leave the culture scape, who wants to escape average life, is to first of all tell him or her the truth. Most time we lie to ourselves. I mean, we just lie to ourselves
Mm-hmm.
most of the time. Just look yourself into the mirror and tell yourself that, man, henceforth I'm not gonna be lying to myself. I'm gonna be
mm,
truthful to myself. And so when you are truthful to yourself, then bring yourself up. I mean, show up. Showing up meaning bring your soul, your spirit,
mm,
your mind
mm,
together. I mean,
mm,
coordinate them.
mm,
Be able to coordinate what goes on in your mind. Be able to coordinate what goes on in your brain. Be able to coordinate what goes on in your
mm,
heart. If you're able to have these three in place, then you are on your
mm,
way. You are on the pathway to actualizing,
mm,
yourself. So in this world of sophisticated technologies calling for our attention, it's important we also take a deliberate
mm,
decision, a deliberate
mhm,
decision to live above normal, to live above
mm,
average, to live above, being controlled or being under the influence or at the mercy of YouTube, at the
mm.
mercy of Google. So it still boils down to how we are ready to make a decisive and a fruitful decision in this world of sophisticated
That is so
technologies.
good. So you brought up a good thing about being deliberate about our decisions. And, would you find that a lot of
Yeah.
people, this is the issue that they have, with moving forward with their goals or just certain things in life that it's just hard for them to make a decision. And,
Mm,
how does one go about that elimination process? Because, some people just are not clear on what factors to eliminate possibly with making that decision to um, live that above average life. Does that question make sense?
okay, can you come again? You mean
Yeah.
elimination
So, like,
process, right?
what factors to use in making that decision? Because the confidence is not there.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
I
Okay.
understand. I understand. Okay, yeah, to embark on an elimination process, you have to first of all, after your decision, which is part of, I mean, elimination
Mm-hmm.
process is part of your decision. Uh, you know, uh, uh, the first thing you do in life is, first of all, ask yourself, where am I going
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
in life? If you're able to identify where you are going to, which most people sometimes they refer to it as
Mm-hmm.
vision. Yeah, vision. Being able to see in a technicolor, being able to see your purpose in a technicolor that you cannot, be pushed out of it by any
Mm-hmm.
fable or, any words of conviction. You are convinced beyond every reasonable doubt. If you are able to identify where you are going to, every other things, I mean, elimination process
Mm-hmm.
naturally occurs. It will help you know the book you're going to read. It will help you to know the kind of TV program you need to watch. It will help you to know the number of hours you need to sleep, because you already know where you are heading to. And you know one thing? If you don't know where you are going to, anywhere you get
Yes.
to will look like it,
Yes. Good.
because you don't really know where. And if you don't have where you are going to, anybody can easily persuade
Yes.
you to follow
Yes.
them. So yeah, and so to eliminate any distraction, the first thing you do is
Mm-hmm.
capture the vision for your life.
Mm-hmm.
Know where you are going to. Know exactly where you are going to. And what is vision? Vision is not is not a mystery. Vision is, in its simplest form, the purpose for which you are here on earth, the purpose for which you are in that company, the purpose for which you are in that school, the purpose for which you are in that family, the purpose for which you are born in that, the purpose for which you are existing in this world at this
Mm-hmm.
time. If you are able to identify it, you are
That
good
is
to go.
awesome. Well, this has Great
Yeah.
conversation. Now, what books would you
Mm.
recommend somebody, kind of start this journey with reading? What would you recommend?
Dr. Mike Murdoch. Yeah, take up Mike
Mike
Murdoch.
Murdoch.
Yeah. The assignment. Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
assignment. And then there's the second book also called The Laws of Recognition. Yeah,
Oh,
the loss of
okay.
recognition. And two, you could also lay hands on Code of Extraordinary by
Mm,
Vishyani Lekiani, the founder of Mind
okay.
Valley. You could also be able, if you can lay hands on Think and Grow Rich.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Familiar with that one.
it will
Mm-hmm.
by Napoleon Hills, right? Yeah, at least
Mm-hmm.
for a
Mm-hmm.
start, you can lay hands on these three books, and I mean, it will help a great. It will help you to a very great extent. It will help you identifying who you truly are. Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Now, so what parting words and piece of advice would you give to, the whole world right now that's going through this whole
Mm,
shift with this virus and, that we've just totally been turned upside down in so many cases with different industries
yeah.
and, the normal that we know it's just been shifted. So what advice would you give everybody
Well,
in conclusion?
yeah. I mean, my heart goes out to every nations of the world. I mean, tears well up my eyes this evening, reading through uh, the internet and going through some newspapers. I mean, a
Mhm.
whole lot of nations locking down. I mean, look at Croatia as of 2 days ago. You know,
Mm.
they were asked to everyone to go in, and all of a sudden, I think yesterday morning, yeah, yeah, 2 days ago, about 5.3 magnitude of earthquake rock the
Oh.
country, and they were asked to go out, and outside there is about 4 degrees centigrade, and so they really do not know what to do.
Mm.
Go inside is dangerous. Be outside is at stake. I mean, your life is at stake. So my heart goes out to everyone that have lost their family members and those that are currently battling with the virus. But what I want to assure everyone
Mm.
is that um, we will survive this. I am very much
Mhm.
optimistic that the human mind is so powerful that we will definitely survive this.
Mm.
So please do not allow fear to grip you, and you will not be able to think straight as to coordinate your
Mm.
mind, and then being able to bring out the solution that is required for the world to be set free from the pandemic. So I want to say my heart, my condolence to everyone that have been affected in one way or the other. And two, I also want to also say that I think in a chaotic situation like this, it's bets. It's always resort to betting a new era where nations will become stronger than the
Mm.
way they used
Mm.
to be. We'll begin to look inward.
Mhm.
Every nations now that have, we now begin to look inward. What are the potentials inside of us that we've not really been harnessing, especially Africa? Africa, in a way, we begin
Mhm.
to see the potentials inside of every nation, inside of every city. The dependency on nations by other nations will be drastically reduced. That's what I'm saying. Yes,
Mhm.
yes. So
Mhm.
I want
Yeah.
everyone to take heart and be strong. Let no fear grip
Mm.
our mind, because if allow fear, we will not be able to think straight. And if you're not able to think straight, we will not be able to solve the situation at hand. Kudos and bravo to all
Uh,
our scientists and everyone that are out there, making sure that things are being put together to annihilate and bring to an end this pandemic.
mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
your time, and sorry about all the technical glitches we had to go
no,
through, but you definitely have been an awesome
wow.
guest. So much knowledge
Thank
and
you.
tidbits. I really
Thank you.
appreciate it. A
Thank
great,
you.
great
Thank you.
discussion.
We hope to having this more time again, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Awesome.
absolutely. And what's the best way for somebody to get a hold of you if they want to reach out?
Exactly. It's true. It's true. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so proud of you, Lashele. I'm so proud of
Uh,
you. Kudos to what you do.
uh,
And I promise I will always be there, always be there. Always be there. Yeah.
well, thank you so much. Well, look, you have a great
Yeah, you
evening.
too.
Thanks again for your
All right.
time
Take you.
and look forward to connecting to you with you
It's all
soon,
right. It's
okay?
all right. Perfect. It's all right. I'll always be there.
Okay.
All right. All right. Bye
All
bye.
right. Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. What a great interview. I hope you guys were able to get a lot out of this content. I know it was going in and out, technical difficulties based on the fact that my guest was actually from Nigeria. And, we had several snafus trying to connect prior to recording just this version that we were able to connect on. But some great nuggets. I just have so many notes, I can't even begin. But the main thing that I got out of this conversation is that, we all have the ability to be leaders ourselves. So during this time, it's an opportunity for us to get to ground zero, start fresh, and recognize that we don't have to imitate anyone. We have people that influence us, we have coaches and mentors that help us, but it is for us to be the best version of ourselves, not to be a copy of someone else, because we each have our own unique purpose for being here and gifts that we need to share with the world. So I really want to impress that on everybody because during this time, it is some sadness. We are going to lose people and it is going to be difficult, with industries being disrupted and finances in just the homes of your everyday neighbor. But we are strong enough to get past this, and we each have a leadership role that we are going to play for a better tomorrow. So I want to encourage everybody during this time, go back, listen to this, take your time, put it on slow speed, whatever you have to do to dissect the nuggets that were in there because you already are a leader. You have it inside of you. So find the things that you need in order to bring that leader to the surface during these times because we're going to need all the leaders that we can salvage in order to make tomorrow better once this pandemic lifts. So, again, I want to thank you all for listening and pray that it really inspires you to take action um, and help to be the best version of yourself.